Hallo Leute, ich bin Katja und ihr seht Deutsch für euch. Today I want to talk about 3 sounds that give a headache to both Germans and English speakers alike, albeit for different reasons. This is, by the way, another frequent question by you guys. The thing that you have to understand about the German V is that it is completely unnecessary, and that being to a point where you might to start questioning its existence. In English, V is a sound that is different from all other sounds. In German, it can be 2 sounds, both of which are already represented in our alphabet. That being either the sound that you know from English, V, or the F sound, F. Don't ask me why this is supposed to make sense, that's just the way things work here. This wouldn't be quite so confusing if we didn't already have a letter that gives us exactly the sound that you only associate with V. And that is the German W. This letter. The letter that you know as W or W. But we simply don't have W. It's not part of our sound system, which is why this is one of the sounds that German English learners usually struggle with. So all that the German V really does is fill in when either F or V are busy. It's like the sad, overqualified intern of German phonology. But regardless of how sad, unnecessary, and annoying it may be, we have to find a way to deal with it. Luckily, there is a somewhat easy rule for this. In originally German words that contain a V, it is pronounced as F. Like in the well-known example, Vogel, bird. Vogel. Absolutely no difference in pronunciation when comparing it to F here. And on the other hand, words that were adopted from other languages and contained a V keep their V sound, so V. So in German phonology, for these words, there is no difference between V and V. Meaning that the originally French word vage, vague, is pronounced exactly the same way as Waage, which is a German word and means scale, so the thing that you use to, weigh things. Okay, and that's it for today. Bye! I thought until it hit me that this is actually not all that easy. That being figuring out what actually is a German word and what isn't, especially if you don't already speak the language. I mean, it's easy to tell with words like Vase, caviar, bravo, but so many words are so deeply rooted in our vocabulary, or even worse, only developed out of foreign words, that it's kind of tricky to filter them out by now. Such as the word gravierend, which means grave, as in this is a grave decision, or Gravur, which means an engraving on, for example, a tombstone or something. Careful though, the grave means das Grab. Then there are scientific terms, names that developed out of scientific terms, or just names in general, such as Lavendel, Verb, Venedig. But there are other words, such as the adverb brav, which, if used as an adverb, has an F at the end anyway because of Auslautverhärtung, but when used as an adjective, so brava, brave, braves, suddenly has a soft V in it. And then there's words like vers, which you would expect to be foreign words, but somehow it still have an F. Those are pretty rare though. So, it's a lot of learning by heart still. For this kind of stuff, for figuring out words that you only read and don't hear, it's good to have a dictionary that uses phonetic transcription behind the vocabulary itself. So, 2 things to remember. If you can definitely recognize a word as foreign, so meaning as not German, and it has a V at the beginning or somewhere in the middle, then you pronounce that V as V. Why not at the end? Because at the end we have German Auslautverhärtung, which means that if we have a soft consonant at the end of a word, it still gets pronounced like its hard equivalent. So, V turns to F, D turns to T, and everything like that. I will do a video on that in the future, so if you don't know about it yet, don't worry too much. Most of these foreign words in German will be from either French or Latin, and also from English by now. You have to be careful with the latter, though, as a native English speaker, because since German and English are related, there are words that are originally German that still sound like an English word, so, But as I said, Vase, for example, is not a German word, it's French. We can also sort out a huge group of German words that start with the prefix ver. This affects a big group of verbs, and therefore adverbs and adjectives that develop out of said verbs. So, for example, the verb verlieben, which means to fall in love, would have the equivalent adverb verliebt and the adjectives verliebter, verliebte, verliebtes. But it also covers some nouns like Versteck, which means a hiding place. Since this prefix is German, you can always count on the V sounding like F, never like V. So I hope that helped at least a little bit with the confusion that some of you had with this. As I said, it's not a 100% thing. You will just have to pay attention to it when learning words that contain a V and that are not in the Ver group. And that's it for today. Your random word of the week is das Lesezeichen. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss!